You might not believe in ghost and spirit communication, and that is okay, but it is one of my favorite hobbies or passions, if you will. So, on my recent visit to Van Buren, I was aware the King Opera House was reported to be haunted and knew I had to stop in to check it out for myself. The first night I was in town, they were showing the 1995 film Casper at the theater, so I had to go see that. Such an adorable movie, I forgot how cute. I had already planned to go back the next day to look around and do an impromptu EVP session. EVP stands for Electronic Voice Phenomenon, which is a term used in ghost hunting and parapsychology to describe the sounds that are recorded on electronic devices and interpreted as spirit voices. You're basically asking questions and communicating and hoping they give you a response. Do you like it when people try to talk with you? I'm very rude. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Laura. Can you tell me what your name is? Please? I didn't bring a whole lot of stuff tonight or today. Can you sing something so I can hear it, please? Do you enjoy that they still use this theater? I watched Casper the Ghost here last night. Were you here? Did you just take my earring out of my ear? I really like performers. Did you sing or dance? Or were you an actor? It's a very beautiful theater. Have you been here a long time?
Sorry, I didn't want to sneak up on you and scare you.
That's what you did.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, watch my cap off. Sorry.
Oh, are you doing that?
Just a little bit, just me. It's fine.
Okay. I was needing to unload some flash real quick.
No, go ahead.
But I don't want to disturb you.
No, I just dropped in and they said I could goof off.
Okay. Oh.
So I'm glad you were human because I was like, no.
Sorry, I got something.
Well, I thought I heard something and I thought, no, it's just my mind playing.
Yeah. Have you ever done one here before?
This is the first time I've ever been to Buren. So
Oh, okay. I will not be in the theater by myself.
Really?
So, really. And so, I'm like hesitant to unload these flash by myself, but yeah.
No, I'll stay.
I've had wacky experiences.
Really?
Because Charles is not like me. No.
Well, I was standing up here and it felt like they took my earring out. I was like, can you take my earring out?
Yeah. Ooh.
I was like, taking music.
Have you seen the pictures that Gray has? There's a picture of like an apparition like right here.
Really?
Really, really freaky. We get that a lot, and then we'll get these a lot. Like
Like chairs?
yeah, some chairs will pop
That's
up.
what I thought I heard, and then it was probably you coming in, but.
Ooh. Yeah. A lot of stories.
Do you work at the show production here, or?
I'm an independent contractor, so I'm here for a lot of the shows, the youth children's shows and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was staying here until like 1, 2 in the morning, like programming lights in the dark for myself, and then I'm like, nope, no more. My cables have gotten cut before, and they've been up 30 feet in the air, like sliced into.
Wow.
Like nothing would hit them. Just working a show, we close the curtain, and then all the lights start like freaking out, and we're like, what does the matter? problem solved for like an hour. Eventually brought the lights in, and yep, my cable, like the data cable, was cut in half, like sliced. Yeah, that's happened.
Yeah, I knew that they do paranormal investigations and stuff here, but I don't know any of the history of like what they caught. I don't know anything.
Don't know anything?
No, so I was just kind of
You don't know the story of Charles? So, back when it used to be like a vaudeville, I could be a little bit off, but when it used to be a vaudeville house, there was this guy named Charles who we have pictures of like some depictions. He was performing here, and he fell in love with the doctor's daughter, right? And they were going to escape after a show one night to the train depot, and then they were running off together, and the doctor caught them and shot him and killed him.
just him, or did you
Just
kill
him. And so it said that his spirit came back, because the train depot's right over there.
Right.
But the spirit came back here. That he's here. People have seen a lady in white in the bathroom. I've been in the bathroom by myself for a minute, and like came back out and was like, "Hey guys, why don't knock on the door?" Like, we didn't knock on the door. I'll only be like 5 or 8 minutes if you.
No, that's fine.
So I just didn't want to disturb her.
No, I'm just glad you're a real human one.
Right. You'll leave.
When somebody says hello, and then you're like.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And travel safe.
Bye. Thank you. Is Charles here? Well, I'm getting ready to go. If there's anything you'd like to say. The theater's beautiful. They've done a nice job keeping it up, I think. It was nice chatting with you if you talked with me. Maybe I'll come back to Van Buren some other time.
A little history on the King Opera House. The building was constructed in 1891. The ground floor originally housed the Willard Billard Parlor on one side and the Wallace Saloon and Restaurant on the other. The second floor was the home to the Van Buren Press newspaper called the Wallace Block. The property was purchased in 1898 by Colonel Henry P. King. In 1901, Colonel King announced he intended to open the property as an up-to-date opera house. Construction was completed quickly, though the small storefronts remained in the front of section of the building. For almost 2 decades, the theater hosted vaudeville acts, local performance groups, hosted noted speakers, musicians, showmen, and even preachers, provided entertainment and culture for the Van Buren community. On March 14, 1914, a fire gutted the Opera House, starting in a dry cleaning business that occupied the space in the front of the building. I can only speculate that is why I received so many responses about being hot. I attempted to research it and did not locate any information that cited that anyone died in the fire. But if you are from the Van Buren area and have any additional info on that, let me know in the comments. In February 1919, after a much needed remodeling, the King Opera House reopened as the Van Buren Theater, showing moving pictures. The Opera House has undergone many changes over the years, but it still offers entertainment options for Van Buren. You can rent the facility, and I'll put details in the description box if you're interested. Now, who is Charles the Spirit that reportedly haunts the Opera House and why? The story goes that an actor named Charles Tolson was running away with the teenage daughter of a local doctor whom he had fallen in love with. Charles was the owner of Tolson Stock Company, which was a traveling acting troupe. He was married to Lorena Tolson and had one son named Franz. On October 3, 1903, the Tolson Stock Company was finishing their week-long engagement at the King Opera House. The next morning around 7:45 a.m., Tolson went to the Frisco train depot with his actors preparing to catch the departing train to Fort Smith. Dr. William L. Parchman was waiting inside the depot for Tolson. Parchman first shot missed Tolson. As Tolson turned to run from the gunfire, a bullet hit Tolson in the back above the hip, knocking Tolson to the ground. Parchman fired a third shot into Charles's chest, but this bullet was stopped by Tolson's pocket watch. Parchman calmly left the scene, going home to call the sheriff to report what he had done. We will talk about Dr. Parchman more in a moment. Charles Tolson was loaded on the train for Fort Smith, where he was admitted to the hospital but succumbed to his injuries the next day. It was reported on his deathbed that Charles stated he had only given Allie good advice and that he had considered Dr. Parchman as a good friend as he had had in Van Buren. On a side note, I learned after the fact I was in fact investigating the Opera House on the exact 121st anniversary of Charles's death. Maybe that's why he wasn't very chatty with me. I found that very interesting. Dr. Parchman's trial started on June 24, 1904. Dr. Parchman was well respected in the area and hired a high-powered defense team. Dr. Parchman's attorneys argued that Tolson was a would-be destroyer of Parchman's daughter's purity. Allie was not in attendance as a witness at the trial. She had already been sent away to live with relatives in Missouri. The first jury vote was 10 for acquittal, 2 for guilty. The second vote was the defendant was not guilty by reason of self-defense for protecting Allie from Tolson. It is believed Allie Parchman had information in her purse indicating that she wanted to run away with the troupe. There's no evidence that Allie was in love with Charles and that they were running away together. What is believable is that a 17-year-old girl wanted to run away and escape small-town life for a life of excitement traveling with an acting troupe. I also tend to believe Charles on his deathbed. What benefit would he have to lie at that point? Plus, Charles was married and his wife was also a member accompanying him in the same troupe, so she was right there. Allie was not with Charles or the troupe the morning they were departing the Van Buren depot. If she was running away with him, she should have been there. I think she would have been present at the train station. Let me know what you think. Allie went on to marry John Birdsong Morris on April 2, 1907 in Dallas, Texas. She died on November 12, 1959 in Corpus Christi, Texas. It is believed that Charles's spirit returned to the theater and that he may still be looking for acting work. Sad story of what sounded like a misunderstanding or miscommunication. If I ever return to the King Opera House in Van Buren, I will continue to try and communicate with Charles. Was I alone in the building? I would say no. Other spirits seem to be hanging and lingering around besides Charles. I hope you enjoyed this Halloween episode. Until next time, bye for now.